Today's highlights. House of Reps probe Nigerian miners abuse claim in Central African Republic. The federal government eyes 796 billion naira annually from 5% through subcharge. Plus, Minister of Education backs drug test in tertiary institutions. Good afternoon and welcome to the news at 3. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is the task we must accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. I am Beauty Benjamin, the news in details. A River State Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekwe Ibas has called for a more coordinated and needs-based approach to socio-economic development in Nigeria. He stressed the importance of tailoring development projects to suit the genuine needs of local communities. Tamnoba Bulubo reports that Vice Admiral Ibas gave the advice when he hosted Dr. George Kelly Dakur Rinema Alabo, the Executive Secretary of Border Communities Development Agency, and his delegation at Government House in Port Harcourt. His reports.
The delegation from the Border Communities Agency was in Rivers State to officially inform the government of the 69 dedicated projects cutting across water, electricity supply, health, and education that will be executed in the state this year. The administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral retired Ebok Ete Ekwe Ebas, criticized the practice of deploying poorly suited development initiatives that often go unused or unappreciated and asked for a change in approach of dominating projects for communities.
I want to commend you for coming around to let us know that you have 69 projects that you intend to bring to the state. I will employ you like you had stated. I have with me here our permanent secretaries from different ministries that I believe cover the socio-economic and infrastructural departments of needs of the state. So I'm sure when you meet with them, they'll be able to look at what you have and then determine which parts of the state require some of these projects that you may have for the state.
Vice Admiral Abbas also commended the agency for uplifting neglected border communities and encouraged it to broaden its focus to include nearby non-border areas and conduct inward assessment to harness local potentials effectively.
21 states sharing borders and appearing to be neglected, perhaps it's an understatement. I feel we should look inward and see what we have, even with the communities that are not sharing borders, that are not that far from the state capitals. And I'm also happy to note that you have considered having your zonal headquarters here in the state. I think we are excited at that. Once it was a notification through from our channels, we will pursue that to ensure that we identify a place for you either temporarily or permanently for you to be able to.
Executive Secretary of the agency, Dr. Alabo George Kelly, said earmarked projects will include water supply to solve the widespread lack of potable water, education, healthcare, agriculture, power and social services, especially in areas disconnected from the national grid.
Our intervention and our focus this year, we've come up with our strategic action plan. Our intervention, basically, we are focusing on water supply because water is very important. Almost all border communities do not have access, to potable water. We're also focusing on education to provide good education for the border community dwellers. We're focusing on health. We're focusing on social services, agriculture, and the rest of them, and of course, power.
Tamno Barabi Ibulubo, Rstv News.
A 45-year-old woman and cancer victim, Imabong Friday Uwa, who hails from Ukanafo, Akwa Ibom State, appeals for the sum of 1.5 million naira for radiotherapy. Son of the victim, Moses Ezekiel, made the appeal when he visited the news division of River State Television. Nnamdi Olemine reports.
The victim, Emma Friday Owa, is a hardworking mother and businesswoman who uses her resources to cater for the welfare of her family and other people around her. But her happiness was cut short when she took ill and was hospitalized 1 year ago.
I've been sick since last year June. I spent all I have. They say it's good. They do the first surgery, do the second one. Now, it's first surgery they asked me to do. I don't do two. There is no money, nobody for help, no family, no husband, I'm a widow. Yeah, I need help.
The son of the victim, Moses Ezekiel, explained that his mother has been sick for a long time before being admitted for a surgical operation at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital last year. He said it was after the operation that she was diagnosed with cancer and referred to Aswikbo General Hospital in Calabar for radiotherapy. According to him, the hospital is asking for the sum of 1.5 million naira to carry out radiotherapy on her, which the family could no longer afford, having exhausted all they have in the course of treatment. The family is appealing to well-meaning individuals, philanthropists, religious and non-governmental organizations to come to their aid, foot the bills, and save the life of this innocent and hardworking woman.
So they say for them to operate it, they have to block her nose so that she'll be using intestine to go toilet. Okay. So after that now, they say we have to go undergo to surgery. And the money they were calling were very expensive. So after everything now, after the full surgery, they say that the thing has turned to cancer. Okay. At this point now, we've sold everything, we don't have anything with us now. So where she is now, they later transferred to Asukpo Hospital as we are speaking right now. She's in Calabar. She cannot walk, she cannot move, she's lying down in pains. Okay. So at this point now, we don't have anything, and because of money now, we cannot start treatment. So right now, we are appealing for the public to help us in any way they can to help so that we can help save her life. At this point now, she's even close to death. The way she's talking herself, you won't feel it from her voice, and she doesn't have much long if we don't start treatment.
To reach the family, please come to the news division of Rivers State Television for further information, or call Emo Friday Owa 080-3552-9017. Account name Eno Ini Obong. Account number 0036190370. Bank Union Bank. The management of Rivers State Television joins the family to call for urgent support and intervention of the public. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
Federal government may rake in 796 billion naira annually from the introduction of 5% surcharge on locally produced and imported petrol, based on its new tax policy slated to take effect from January 1, 2026. The 5% surcharge on refined petroleum products is contained in the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, one of 4 tax reform bills signed into law by President Bola Tinubu on June 26, 2025. However, consumers have opposed the move, stressing that the government had earlier removed fuel subsidies and now plots to impose 5% surcharge on fuel without considering the harsh economic realities nationwide. This came as oil marketers stated that the 5% surcharge may further hike the pump prices of refined petroleum products, and that the surcharge forms part of government efforts to shore up non-oil revenues and promote fiscal sustainability and mounting public debt and subsidy-related costs. The implementation date, however, remains undecided and is now subject to the approval of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu. The law taxed the Federal Inland Revenue Services, which will be renamed the Nigerian Revenue Service by 2026, with administering and collecting the surcharge every month. Federal government has announced 50% increase in scholarship grants to Nigerian students across all tertiary levels. Minister of Education Olatunji Alausa, who announced this Sunday decision, was in line with the government's unwavering commitment to building a more inclusive and knowledgeable driven nation. Alausa said the reverse program Revised program emphasized merit, equity, and relevance to national development priorities, particularly in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medical sciences, and vocational education. He stated that the government has introduced a revised allocation framework to ensure fairness and impact. According to him, under the new structure, 50% of scholarships will go to undergraduate students, 25% to master students, and 25% to PhD candidates. The minister disclosed that the over 15,000 students were expected to benefit from the Nigerian Scholarship Award, Education Bursary Award, and the restructured BEA scheme. A side implementation will be coordinated by the Federal Scholarship Board in partnership with an interministerial committee chaired by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry. I'll also added that this committee includes representatives from the National Assembly, Federal Character Commission, Ministry of Women Affairs, and other key institutions to ensure transparency and accountability. House of Representatives Committee on China-Nigerian Parliamentarian Relations has launched an investigation into viral video showing some Nigerian workers in the Central African Republic alleging abandonment and ill treatment. In the video, miners claimed they were recruited by the Chinese mining company but were later abandoned, had their passports confiscated, and were subjected to inhumane treatments. The workers appealed to Nigerians to amplify their message and draw attention to their situation, saying they were stranded in Siye, a village in Bambari region of Ka. Reacting, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Jafaru Yakubo, in a statement expressed concern over the situation. Honorable Yakubo also used the opportunity to reaffirm the strength of the China-Nigerian ties, which appealing to the media and public to ensure accurate and balanced reporting. Meanwhile, spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kemiebi Ibiemfa, in a statement said stranded Nigerian workers in the Central African Republic have been successfully rescued and are currently in custody of the Embassy of Nigeria in Bangui. He added that the miners were under the care of embassy officials who were making arrangements for their return to Nigeria, but that the Nigerian agents accused of luring them into the job and abandoning them had been identified and is currently in Nigeria. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is the task we must accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Stay to come. 6 South Sudan soldiers die in border clashes with Uganda. And in sport, Eagle B face Zanzibar in final test ahead of 2024 CHAN. These and more when we return.
I just want the papers, please.
Sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And money never even reach it.
Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand.
Shut up, sir.
I'm here to bail my younger brother.
Happen.
With good laws,
proper funding,
Training.
and cooperation.
If it happen.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're welcome back to the news. Similarly, Minister of Education Tunji Alausa has backed the introduction of compulsory and random drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions across the country. This decision followed a meeting in Abuja with the chairman and the chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Buba Mawa, when both parties discussed measures to curb substance abuse among students. In a statement by the agency's spokesman, Femi Babafemi, the minister also approved review of the current secondary school curriculum to incorporate updated drug education and committed to informing an interministerial working group with the NDLEA. Mawa described the drug surge as a threat to national security and youth development, citing its links to criminal activities such as terrorism and banditry. Responding, Alausa stated that the drug tests for fresh and returning students in tertiary institutions will be done. Also announced the creation of a substance use prevention unit within the ministry, confirming that a revised curriculum for secondary school was underway. National Emergency Management Agency has received 139 Nigerian returnees from Agazi, Niger Republic, in its continuing effort to ensure safe and dignified return of Nigerian migrants. The returnees arrived at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano aboard a Sky Mali flight. And NIMA made this known on its official X account on Thursday, said the returnees were documented and were subsequently transported to Badala Hotel for accommodation. According to NEMA's Kano's Operation Office, the returnees comprise 22 male adults, 52 female adults, 33 male children, and 32 female children. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has confirmed that 9 people lost their lives in a boat accident that occurred at Zango Maje village in Tura local government area of Jigawa State. According to NEMA's Kano Operation Office, the tragic incident happened when a boat carrying 17 passengers, mostly young girls, capsized mid-journey while traveling from the Gawa village in Jamu local government area, Zango Male Maji village in Tura local government area. NEMA, in collaboration with the Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency, the National Inland Waterways Authority, and local government officials, sensitized the community on the importance of adhering to safety protocols while traveling by water. The agency will share the update on X on Thursday, said as part of the response from effort, NIWA also donated life jackets to the communities. A deadly firefight has erupted along Uganda's South Sudan border, leaving at least 6 soldiers dead. According to Uganda's military, the clash, which occurred in West Nile region, was reportedly sparked when South Sudanese force crossed into Uganda territory and refused to withdraw.
A deadly firefight erupted along the
Kula said 3 South Sudanese troops were killed in retaliation after a Ugandan soldier died in incursion. However, a South Sudanese official claims 5 of their soldiers were killed in what he called a surprise attack. Both countries' militaries have agreed to a ceasefire and promised an investigation into the incident. The two neighbors have long dispute stretches of their shared border, despite a joint demarcation committee working towards a 2027 resolution. While minor clashes have occurred in the past, such deadly confrontations between the two allied forces remain rare. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said Canada plans to recognize a Palestinian state in September, becoming the 3rd G7 nation to make such an announcement in recent days. Carney said the move depends on democratic reforms, including the Palestinian Authority holding elections next year without Hamas. His remarks come a day after the UK announced it will recognize a Palestinian state in September unless Israel agreed to a ceasefire and other conditions, and a week after France unveiled a similar plan. Kanye said Canada will formally recognize the state of Palestine at the upcoming UN General Assembly. He said recognition of Palestinian statehood will hinge on commitments by the Palestinian Authority to fundamentally reform its governance and to the territory. Ghana said Canada had long been committed to a two-state resolution as part of a negotiated peace process, adding that this approach is no longer tenable. However, Israel's foreign ministry rejected Canada's announcement, calling it a reward for Hamas. Ukrainian officials say at least 6 people were killed and more than 50 others were wounded in a barrage of Russian drones and missiles that struck several districts of Kiev and brought down an apartment block. Tymukachenko, head of Kiev military administration, said the death toll could rise with damage in more than 2 dozen locations. The high-pitched hum of Russian drones could be heard for hours over the capital, interrupted by the occasional loud thunderclap of a missile strike. Russian attacks have continued despite U.S. President
this damage. You can see
the sanctions on Moscow if Vladimir Putin does not agree to a ceasefire by August 8. Russia fired 309 drones and cruise missiles during the night, according to Ukraine's Air Force, and although air defense did manage to destroy some of the incoming fire, there were numerous hits. On the entertainment news today, veteran Nollywood actress and movie producer Ego Boye has refuted various assumptions that her husband restricted her from acting. Lilian Ogbonaya disclosed that Ego revealed why she left acting amid fear. Her reports.
Contrary to public assumption that Ego Boyo was restricted by her husband, she said it was her personal decision to quit acting for movie production. The 56-year-old, who started acting in the early 1980s, became famous following her role in Checkmate, an early 90s series. Former Big Brother Naija reality star Ike Oyema has appealed to the organizers not to evict any of the housemates in the ongoing season 10 until a month. Biggie had put all the 28 housemates up for possible eviction during Monday's nomination for eviction. Reacting, Ike urged Biggie not to evict any of the housemates until a month, noting that some of the housemates this season have been very entertaining. The first eviction show will take place on Sunday. Rapper Black Bones has expressed deep concern over the damage streaming farm has done to the Nigerian music industry, claiming that the damage artists who engage in stream farming have done to the music industry is irreversible. He stated this while adding his voice to Singer's Magic's recent criticism of artists who inflate the number of plays their song or album receives on a streaming platform using bots or automated systems. Black Bones warned that there will be grave consequences for the streaming manipulation in the Nigerian music industry. Ozzy Osbourne's family have accompanied the rock legend's coffin on an emotional final journey through his home city, watched on by thousands of fans who cheered and chanted his name. A tearful Sharon Osbourne added a pink rose to dozens of tributes left by fans in Birmingham, consoled by family members including children, Kelly and Jack. The funeral procession was led by a brass band playing Black Sabbath song, with Ozzy's body transported in a hearse topped by a purple floral tribute in the shape of a cross. Ogbonna Lilian, Rstv News.
And in sports, Super Eagles B will face the Zanzibar national team on Thursday in their second and final friendly game before the commencement of the 2024 CHAN tournament, which will be held in Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, beginning from Saturday. Sport correspondent Rhea Duko has more.
Both sides met in the first leg of the encounter on Monday at the Mao Zedong Stadium with the game ending goalless.
Led by the national team coach Eric Chelle, the Super Eagles B dominated the first leg of the encounter but didn't do enough to breach their opponent's defense. Nigeria, the 2018 runners-up, are in Group D of the 19-team tournament alongside cup holders Senegal, Sudan and Congo. Head coach Chelle reflected on the team's preparations after they arrived in the East African country and believes their opponents will set them in the right shape for the tournament. Nigeria has never won the tournament, having finished third at the 2014 edition in South Africa before losing the final against host Morocco 4 years later, but Chelle isn't making any promises yet. 5 players of the Nigeria senior men's cricket team, Isaac Okwe, Elijah Olale, Salim Sarau and Suleiman Ronsere and Isaac Danladi, are embarking on different foreign trainings to enhance their ability ahead of the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup qualifiers. The trio Okwe, Olale and Salah will be heading to Zimbabwe's domestic league from August 2nd to September 14th, offering them valuable exposure to high-level competition, while Ronsere and Danladi are set to travel to South Africa for a high-performance training program, giving them platform to fine-tune their skills ahead of the African qualifiers. Their only win was recorded against Namibia last Friday, holding their nerves to defend a 105 run for the loss of 9 wickets as Namibia finished 99/8 in a thrilling encounter. Former super middleweight world champion George Groves believed rising Nigeria British heavyweight Moses Itaoma has the potential to bring an end to Alexander Usyk's dominance within the next year. Groves made it clear that while Usyk remains unbeaten and highly respected, the Ukrainian's era at the top of the heavyweight division is drawing to a close. He pointed to Itaoma, the 20-year-old prodigy, tipped as one of the brightest prospects as the fighter capable of ending that reign. Former Barcelona forward Charles Perez has been hospitalized following a freak accident in which he sustained a dog bite to his genitals. The 27-year-old, currently playing for Greek side Aris Thessaloniki on loan from Celta Vigo, was reportedly attempting to separate his own dog from another when the incident occurred. Perez required 6 stitches for the injury and was treated at a private hospital in Panorama, a suburb near Thessaloniki. Royal Duco, Rstv Sports News.
Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for the updates on our live field. That's a wrap on the News at 3. Stay tuned for more report at 7:30. My name is Beauty Benjamin. Many thanks for watching.
Rstv, bring you the news as it is.